Today's sponsor is Advancement Courses. Stay tuned at the end of the show for a special coupon for 20% off any of their grad level professional development courses. Today, Meg Ormiston talks about 5 ideas to change teaching with digital tools, episode 270.
The 10-Minute Teacher Podcast with Vicki Davis. Every weekday, you'll learn powerful, practical ways to be a more remarkable teacher today.
I'm so excited. We have Meg Ormiston with us today. And, she's been in education for 33 years, but for 21 years, she's been helping so many of us with our professional development, keynoting our conferences, speaking, and encouraging us to really use technology in the classroom. And she does have a series of books that we'll mention here in a moment. But today we're going to talk about 5 ideas to change teaching with digital tools. So Meg, what is our first idea today?
Awesome. Vicki, I'm so happy to be here. This is so fun. Okay, we're going to talk about the 5 C's today, and the creativity, collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and computational thinking. I just went to a presentation with one of my co-authors last week, and she presented how she does her green screen. It was so creative, I couldn't believe it. She's in a K2 building. She sprayed the inside of pizza boxes with the green screen paint, and she uses little Starbucks stirs, and the kids make characters, and they do retellings of stories as they move the characters around.
Wow. And then they can cut out the background and then put them anywhere, huh?
Oh, it is so cute. People were like, "How did you do this?" We had to stop the whole workshop, and it was so fun. But what I really love about Lissa is she ties every single lesson she does, like that green screen lesson. She ties it to an ISTE standard, and she ties it to an ELA standard, and it's posted right in the room, so everybody knows it's not just fluff; it's embedded into the curriculum. So that's my number 1 for today. Love that one.
That is awesome! How cute. Okay, what's our second?
Okay, collaboration. And I'll have to tell you, this is so funny. I just wrote a series of 5 books with 26 practicing educators.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah, it was like herding cats. It was nuts. But it was so funny. They come to my house, and they would write, and I would cook them dinner, and then they would kind of spread out around the house. And one night, the high school teachers were at the island, and the K2 teachers were at the kitchen table. And all of a sudden, I was doing something, and one of the high school teachers goes, "They can do that in kindergarten?" No. What are we doing? And they just couldn't believe that the young kids could do this. And so what's so cool on the collaboration piece of that one is that kindergarten teacher ended up partnering with the high school, and they actually are in different districts, but they're across the street. And the high school teacher students walked down the street, and they did an afternoon of STEM together in a collaboration.
Oh, I love multi-age collaboration. Is just so incredible and a hallmark of what I do in my own classroom. Love that. Okay, what's next?
Okay, communication. I love to tell the story of Bill Ferreter's sugarkills.us. Do you know that project?
No, tell us.
Oh my gosh, it's great. His kids, I think it went on for 4 years, and I just noticed they kind of slowed down a little bit. They have a sugarkills.us blog. And about 4 or 5 years ago, Bill brought in a news article about the ban of soda, the big soda in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And just thinking it was a quick activity, and the kids started to really get into it and figure out how much sugar is really in the food that they were eating. And they started to blog about it, and it went on for years.
Wow.
I do believe it's on the 5th year. But the cool part was they were communicating all over the globe. You look at their cluster map, and it was amazing how many people they were reaching. It was so funny. One day I was in Houston, Texas speaking, and I got a text from Bill, and he said, "My class wants to know if you are in Houston, Texas." Because when I speak and talk about their awesome story, they watch me on their cluster map, and guess where I am? I feel like I'm being tracked like a dolphin.
I love that. And that the kids are so engaged in understanding how modern communication works and that they have a global audience. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, what's our 4th?
Critical thinking. I love this quote, and I'm giving all of it to Chris Lehman at the principal of the Science Leadership Academy. This is his quote that he let me use. "If you assign a project and get back 30 of the exact same thing, that's not a project. that's a recipe.
Mm.
And I love it. You know, when you walk down the hall of a school and you just got 30 of the exact same thing in a row, and then you go to the next room. I'm working with a school, and I'm calling it the over-rubric high school. That's not a real word, I don't think. But where these students are super high-performing, but all they're doing is checking boxes on rubrics, and they're not critically thinking. And it's so important to get some creativity into our classrooms, into the projects. I presented this at a workshop on Friday, and I start by saying, I'm going to upset some of you. We have to change the projects we're asking kids to do. You should have seen the body language. I had 50 people in this room. Oh, that was not, I showed some examples. I'm like, how many poster boards must die during somebody's elementary years? So I'm calling it the over-rubric school. But I think we're over-rubricing and forgetting about the creativity and the critical thinking.
Yeah. And, I've seen some projects that I just call the Wikipedia copy project. Because you're supposed to do this research, and it's like, okay, if I can Google it, is it really authentic research? I mean, do something like, what if, Abraham Lincoln and Nelson Mandela had a conversation about modern politics? What would they say? I mean, you can't Google that. You have to actually think.
Exactly. And the point is, the school actually brought me in because they found their kids were graduating like at 98%. But when they weren't finishing college, but they didn't know how to think because and I'm doing a session today with my son. I'm really excited about that. There's no rubric for your first job. How about that?
Love it. Okay, what's our fifth?
In the fifth one, computational thinking. And there, we wrote about coding all the way through. So the books they're grade band books. So there's a K2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 12, and a leadership book. And we wrote about coding all the way through, starting in kindergarten. Again, that was something the high school teachers could not believe, truly could not believe that the kindergartners could code. And they're like, and it was funny because they were so hung up on where do we put it in our curriculum, instead of embracing that we've got to take these kids for the real world, get them ready with real thinking about future jobs.
Yeah.
So my fifth one is computational thinking.
And that is so important. And, sometimes it would be nice if we kind of communicated across the board and people could understand that sometimes kindergartners and first and second and third graders may transfer schools and they feel like they're stepping backwards because we're selling kids short. Just because it's new to the teacher doesn't mean it's new to the kid,
Exactly. And we're not going to be able to find enough computer science teachers in our classrooms. We've got to figure out how to use our technology to teach this computational thinking, is my opinion.
We do. We have 5 ideas to change teaching with digital tools. Now, Meg, tell us quickly where we can find some more information about the book.
Okay. Of course, go to Amazon and please give us a great review. No, I'm kidding. But just do Now Classroom. Google Now Classroom, and you will see it. Our website's nowclassrooms.com. And we're trying to blog. We're trying to stay on top of things. But I would love to hear what you have to say. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Meg. And keep inspiring educators all around the world. I just find you so exciting and engaging. And I appreciate all that you do because, all that traveling is not for everybody. I travel a little bit, but it's really dedication to travel. A lot of people think they want to do it until they start, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to Singapore next week, and it's 27 hours each way.
Thank you, educators, for having a listen. And I know that you have some ideas that you can use this weekend as you plan your lessons for Monday. Need some great professional development? Today's sponsor, Advancement Courses, has more than 200 graduate-level online professional development courses for K-12 teachers. You can take these courses for continuing education, salary advancement, or recertification. And these courses have us teachers developing tangible resources to use in our classrooms immediately. Go now to advancementcourses.com/coolcat and use the code COOL20 at checkout to get 20% off any course. With this coupon, a 3 grad credit course is only $359. So go to advancementcourses.com/coolcat to learn more and use the coupon code COOL20. Never stop learning.
Thank Thank you for listening to the 10-Minute Teacher Podcast. You can download the show notes and see the archive at coolcatteacher.com/podcast. Never stop learning.